Imagine for a moment that you've lived other lives, that your soul has journeyed through centuries, carrying experiences, loves, and lessons that shaped who you are today. But if that's true, why don't we remember anything? Why do those memories feel hidden, like pages in a book we've never opened? This question, as old as humanity itself, touches something deep within us. The curiosity about our origins and the desire to understand the purpose of our existence. In this video, we'll dive into the mystery of reincarnation and explore, through the teachings of ALLAN KARDEC, why we don't recall our past lives. Get ready for a journey that might transform how you see yourself and the world around you, because sometimes the answers we seek are closer than we think. What drives us to question reincarnation is more than mere curiosity. It's a call from the soul longing to understand its own story. ALLAN KARDEC, with his clear and compassionate vision, teaches us that life is a school and each existence is a carefully planned chapter for our learning. But why, then, are those memories denied to us? Is it a punishment, an accident, or a wise protection? KARDEC invites us to reflect. Imagine carrying the weight of all the pains, mistakes, and guilt from past lives. Could we bear it? The veil of forgetfulness, he says, is a divine gift, a chance to start anew with a clean heart, though not an empty one. It's as if each new life gives us a blank canvas, where we can paint new choices, guided by the essence of what we've learned, even without knowing it. This veil, however, isn't absolute. There are moments when we feel something inexplicable, an instant connection with someone, a fear with no apparent cause, or a dream that feels more real than reality itself. KARDEC explains that these sensations are echoes of past lives, whispers of the soul reaching across time. He teaches us that reincarnation isn't just about who we were, but about who we can become. Each life is an opportunity to evolve, to correct mistakes, and to strengthen virtues. Forgetfulness, far from being a limitation, allows us to focus on the present, to live the now with courage, and to build a better future. After all, what matters isn't remembering who we were, but discovering who we're meant to be. But how does this process work in practice? KARDEC guides us to understand that reincarnation is governed by just and loving laws. Before we're born, our soul, in a state of greater clarity, helps choose the trials we'll face. These trials are like personalized lessons, designed to help us grow. The forgetfulness of past lives, in this context, is an essential tool. It shields us from old prejudices, from grudges that could paralyze us, and gives us the freedom to love and forgive without chains. Imagine trying to build a genuine relationship with someone who, in another life, was your rival. The veil erases that memory, but preserves the chance to turn enmity into friendship, pain into growth. Finally, reflect with me. What if the purpose of not remembering was, in truth, to teach us to trust? To trust in the wisdom of the universe, in the kindness of a greater plan, and in the strength we carry within. ALLAN KARDEC reminds us that life is an eternal movement of renewal. Each step, each choice is a chance to draw closer to the light. So, the next time you feel an emptiness you can't explain, a longing for something you've never lived, or an intuition you don't understand, ask yourself, what if this is my soul guiding me? Keep watching, because what comes next might be exactly what your soul is waiting to hear. Have you ever felt an emptiness you can't explain, as if a piece of your life's puzzle is missing? ALLAN KARDEC, with his serene wisdom, guides us to see that this feeling might be an echo of past lives, memories our soul carries but our mind cannot grasp. Forgetfulness, he teaches, is not a punishment or a flaw, but a divine law carefully designed. Picture carrying the burden of all the sorrows, regrets, and guilt from previous existences. It would be like climbing a mountain with a backpack full of stones. The veil of forgetfulness is, in truth, a liberation, a chance to begin anew with lightness, yet with the essence of what we've learned etched in our soul. KARDEC teaches us that reincarnation is an educational process, a school where each life is a classroom. Every trial, every joy, is a lesson crafted to help us grow. But why, then, don't we have access to the full book of our history? He explains that remembering everything could trap us in the past, preventing us from living the present. Think of a child learning to write, who doesn't need to recall every scribble made before. What matters is the skill developed, not the mistakes made. Likewise, our soul brings its learning forward, leaving the details behind, allowing us to focus on the now. This veil, however, isn't impenetrable. How many times have you felt an instant bond with someone as if you've known them for ages, or had a dream so vivid it felt like a memory? KARDEC tells us these are signs that our soul doesn't entirely forget. These impressions, these intuitions, are like whispers from the past, gently guiding us. They show that, even without remembering, we carry an inner wisdom. It's as if our soul were a river flowing through many landscapes, yet always retaining its essence no matter the shores it touches. But what do we gain from this forgetfulness? KARDEC invites us to consider. The absence of memories gives us freedom. Freedom to love without prejudice, to forgive without grudges, to try again without fear of failure. Imagine building a friendship with someone who, in another life, was your enemy. If you remembered, you might hesitate. The veil erases that barrier, allowing your heart to choose the path of understanding. It's an opportunity to transform old wounds into new bridges, to turn pain into learning. What if, instead of mourning what we don't remember, we celebrated what we can create? KARDEC reminds us that each life is a blank canvas, but the paint we use comes from all we've been. Forgetfulness isn't a loss, but a tool for renewal. It challenges us to trust the journey, to believe each step brings us closer to the light. So ask yourself, what are you painting on the canvas of your life today? Stay with me, because we'll explore how this mystery can bring more meaning to your days. Now that we understand the role of forgetfulness, let us dive into an even deeper idea. Reincarnation is a perfect system of justice and love. Allan Kardec teaches us that nothing in life happens by chance. Every joy, every hardship, is part of a plan our soul helped design before birth. Sounds bold, doesn't it? But consider, what if the trials we face were exactly what we need to grow? Kardec invites us to see life as a school where each challenge is a lesson, and reincarnation, the path that lets us advance from one grade to the next. This idea might stir mixed emotions. Sometimes, in the face of suffering, we ask, why me? Kardec, with his compassion, answers that the why is tied to our progress. He explains that in past lives we may have made mistakes, not out of malice, but from ignorance. Reincarnation gives us the chance to correct those steps, to learn where we stumbled. It's like a student redoing an exercise until they master it. Divine justice doesn't punish. It educates, always with love, always with the promise of growth. But how do we know this plan is fair? Kardec points us to the law of cause and effect, a compass guiding all existences. Every action, every choice plants a seed that will bloom, whether in this life or another. If today we reap challenges, they might be the fruit of old seeds, but also the chance to plant something new. And if we reap blessings, they're the results of efforts we can't even imagine. This law gives us power, the power to shape our future with the choices we make now. And where does forgetfulness fit in? It's what makes this justice possible. Kardec explains that remembering everything could paralyze us. Imagine facing a trial knowing it stems from a past mistake. The weight of guilt might stop us from acting. The veil protects us, letting us face each challenge with courage, focused on the present. It's as if life says, don't look back, just do your best now. That's the beauty of reincarnation. It always gives us a fresh start. So, what does this mean for you today? It means every moment is a chance to rewrite your story. KARDEC inspires us to live with awareness, knowing our actions echo beyond this life. Why not start now? Think of a choice you can make today to plant a seed of kindness, courage, or love. Keep watching, because we'll discover how these choices can transform not just your life, but your soul. Ever wonder why certain things stir you so deeply? A place that feels familiar? A song that brings tears for no reason? Or a fear you can't explain? Allan Kardec reveals that these moments aren't coincidences. They're echoes of past lives, small windows our soul opens to remind us our story is bigger than we know. These signs, he says, show that forgetfulness isn't total. Our essence bears the marks of all we've lived, even if our mind can't translate them. KARDEC teaches that the soul is like a living book, with each life writing a chapter. These marks aren't clear memories, but feelings, talents, inclinations. Maybe you're gifted at something you never studied, or feel a deep connection to a culture not your own. This could be your soul bringing forth what it's learned. It's as if, across existences, we're polishing a diamond, and each life reveals a new sparkle, even if we don't see the whole process. But why do these echoes appear? KARDEC explains they have a purpose: to guide us. When we feel an instant bond with someone, it might be our soul recognizing an old tie. When we face a seemingly baseless fear, it could be a signal to work on something left unresolved. These signs are like arrows pointing to our growth. They invite us to trust our intuition, to follow that something we feel, even without fully understanding it. What's most fascinating? These echoes show we're more than our current life. KARDEC urges us to see each experience as part of a larger tapestry. Your joys, your pains, your passions, all are woven with threads from many lives. Forgetfulness lets us appreciate the pattern without getting lost in the details. It frees us to live the present, but with the wisdom of someone who's walked many paths. Now, imagine what might happen if you started noticing these signs. What if that hunch was your soul trying to speak? KARDEC invites us to be curious, to explore these echoes with courage and openness. Next, we'll see how to use these clues to transform your life today. Don't go anywhere, because what's coming could be the key to understanding who you really are. We've reached a pivotal point. If we don't remember the past, how do we use reincarnation to live better now? Allan Kardec answers with a powerful truth. The present is the only moment we have to act, to grow, to love. He teaches that reincarnation isn't just about who we were, but who we can become. Each day is a chance to shape our soul, to choose the path that draws us closer to the light. And forgetfulness, it's what gives us the freedom to make those choices unbound. KARDEC reminds us that before birth, our soul helped choose the trials we'd face, not because we're masochists, but because, at a higher level, we know what we need to learn. These trials are like exercises that strengthen our essence. Forgetfulness keeps us from seeing the answer key, but lets us respond authentically. It's like solving a problem without peeking at the solution. The learning comes from the effort, not the ready answer. But how do we live the present with this awareness? KARDEC points to simplicity. Live with kindness, courage, gratitude. Every act of love, every moment of overcoming, is a seed planted for the future. He teaches we don't need to recall the past to be better today. Our soul already carries the wisdom. It's up to us to put it into practice. Think of someone you can help, a fear you can face, a change you can embrace. That's the power of now. And forgetfulness, far from a barrier, is an ally. It shields us from distractions, old guilt, grudges that no longer belong to us. KARDEC says life is a dance between who we are and who we can be, and the present is the stage where it happens. Imagine how freeing it would be to live without dwelling on what was, focusing only on what you can create. It's a transformative idea, isn't it? So, why not take the next step? Reflect. What can you do today to be truer to your essence? KARDEC inspires us to live with purpose, knowing every choice matters. In the final part, we'll see how this all ties into a greater plan, bringing peace and meaning to your journey. Stay until the end, because the answer might be closer than you think. We've reached the heart of this journey, the promise that everything makes sense. Allan Kardec teaches that reincarnation is more than a cycle of lives. It's a path of evolution, a staircase leading to fulfillment. Each life, with its struggles and triumphs, is a step we climb. Forgetfulness, in this context, lets us focus on each step, without getting lost in the vastness of the staircase. Ikiu, like climbing a mountain. You don't need to see the peak to keep going. You just trust that each effort brings you closer. KARDEC invites us to view life with hope. He explains that divine justice is perfect because it's loving. No one is abandoned. No one is forgotten. Your pains today might be the remedy for old wounds. Your joys, the reward for efforts you can't imagine. Reincarnation gives us endless chances to get it right, to grow, to love. And the most beautiful part? We don't need to remember the path to trust it. Our soul knows where it's headed, even if our mind still asks why. This trust is what sets us free. KARDEC teaches that evolution isn't a race, but a dance. Each life teaches us new steps, and forgetfulness lets us dance without fear of stumbling. Imagine living knowing every choice, however small, is a move toward the light. It's an idea that brings peace, that makes us look to the future with courage and the present with gratitude. What if you started living this promise today? KARDEC urges us to be the protagonists of our journey, to make the now a reflection of the best we can be. Ask yourself, what is your soul asking of you? Maybe it's forgiving someone, seeking a new path, or simply smiling at the day ahead. Each small act is a brick in the building of who you'll be tomorrow, in this life or the next. Before you go, here is an invitation. Come back to this video whenever you need to remember, your life has a greater purpose. Share this message with someone who needs hope, and subscribe so we can keep exploring the mysteries of the soul together. Allan Kardec taught us that truth is within our reach. It's up to us to seek it. Until next time, may your journey be filled with light.